This podcast is called Obsessed. Joseph Scrimshaw and his guest get some secrets off their chest. You should listen. It's the best.
Hello and welcome to Obsessed with me, Joseph Scrimshaw. I'm sitting in my home with an awesome person, Adam Dubowsky.
Thank you very much. He is not telling a lie.
That you're awesome?
Yeah.
Or that we're sitting in a place together?
Both. One of those is a lie.
If you guess which one, you can come through the door of this podcast. Sometimes people don't like it when I describe them as an awesome person because they think it's too disingenuous.
No, I liked it.
Okay,
There's
good.
a lot of pressure, though.
Yeah.
If that's the first thing you say. It's like, this guy's awesome. I was like, oh, well. But yeah,
Yeah.
on the other hand, you're not going to introduce me as a not awesome person. Or why would you?
Sitting in my home with some guy.
Yeah. The stakes are very low.
This guy was on the street, and now he's in my home. Seems awesome.
Yeah.
Smells good.
So far, yeah.
We've been starting the podcast lately by getting questions from our listeners about their own obsession, and then my guest helps me answer if you're up for that.
Sure, yeah.
This comes from Keith Nelson, a nice listener, Keith Nelson, and he says, I'm obsessed with fortune-telling machines. What's your favorite fortune you've ever got? And when you get a fortune, even though you intellectually know that it's just random, does it still affect your actions?
Ooh, that's good.
I know, that's pretty juicy, right?
Yeah.
That's a good obsession.
Well, first of all, he obviously loves the movie Big, right?
Yeah,
Right? I mean,
I'm sure he does.
I hope so. And
who wasn't?
if not, Keith, come on, man. Get your shit together and watch Big. Can I curse?
Oh,
Is it
yeah.
Okay? Okay, sorry. Well, I should have asked before I cursed. I think fortunes, first of all, I love fortunes.
Yeah, you're excited to get him?
I wouldn't go that
You're
far.
like giddy?
Yeah. Well, what's in here? It's essentially just a portable horoscope, right? That you just find that you just crack open.
Right, but it's
Oh, he likes
personal to
fortune
you,
telling
right?
He likes machines, not just fortune cookies.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's the same thing of just like horoscopes. You find in it what you want to find, and you relate to it, and yeah, I think it still affects your. Yeah,
Have you got one where you think like this is in the sweet spot? Like he's saying, I intellectually know that that's not about my next relationship, but I kind of feel like in the moment it could be, so I'm going to allow myself to feel that.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that. I think when you want something to happen in general, you just want that a confirmation from anywhere, really. Right. So if you can interpret that from a fortune, it's like, oh yeah, oh totally. See, this isn't just me here. I've
been doing it right. Yeah.
I've been doing it right. And who are we to say that the universe doesn't put that stuff in front of us anyway?
Yeah, when we need to see it.
Yeah.
Now, this is a fortune cookie, but I got one, I think now a year and a half ago.
Okay.
That said...
Oh, it stuck with you. So.
Yeah, well, I kept it because...
It said start a podcast called Obsessed, and you're like, what?
3 years previous to getting this, start a podcast. No, it was your patience and understanding will eventually pay off. It just amused me and pissed me off.
I love the eventually pay off. That's really, really great.
Yeah.
Do you think someone worded that knowing that was really funny or no?
Yeah, I want to think so. That somebody is like, oh, people make fun of fortune cookies. I'll give them something to make fun of.
Like I got a raise or fired.
Or fired. But yeah, I keep that one because it's not, it doesn't fit into that sweet spot of like, oh, I've heard other ones I like that like, your intelligence and creativity will pay off, or the connection you need to meet is coming soon. And like, I found ones that are like what you want to hear.
Yeah.
But this one was just sort of like, be patient forever. No, fuck you. I'm not a patient person.
Be patient forever. I love that fortune.
Yeah, so that one did affect me in that it made me mad, and I kept it.
Yeah, I think it's a great... Keith, you're doing it right, man.
Good job, Keith.
Yeah.
This is a great obsession, especially the machines. And we're lame. We can't even give you a machine example.
Yeah, what fortune machines is he obsessed with?
I don't know. I would imagine...
I've never even heard of that.
I think that they're still in like arcades. I could be full of shit.
Okay,
but
like
I think,
the Zoltar thing. It's
Yeah. I mean, certainly there are like actual Zoltars
Yeah.
around. Like I think there's one on the Santa Monica boardwalk. I think there's a Zoltar there.
But does like a magic 8-ball count or no?
I would think so. That's a machine, right?
Yeah.
A cookie's a kind of machine, right? When you think about it. When you're really high and you think about it, a cookie is a machine. Right? It all makes sense. All right. Well, thank you, Keith. That is a great question, Keith. A great obsession. Adam, we're going to get back to you. Can you tell the people listening a little bit about who you are and what you do?
I am a comedy writer. I love comedy and I love writing.
You haven't filled out like a singles profile in a while, have you?
No, I've been in a relationship for 8 years.
Yeah, nice,
So,
nice. But we met. Is it okay to say where we met?
Yeah.
So we were. You were the head writer, right, or co-head writer?
Yeah, sure. Well, here's the best part of it. There was 2 of us, so we were both co-head writers.
You're co-head writers. You're 2 head writers of some shows for Comic-Con HQ, which is a streaming service.
That is correct.
That you can pay to watch. And I did a week of writing and met you, and it was awesome.
And you were fantastic.
Well,
and
thank
I
you.
Instantly loved you. If the show is still around, which is not as of last week. Am I allowed to say that? Who cares? What, are they going to fire me? But yeah, I love the Comic-Con space. I always have. I used to write on Attack of the Show also, which was like a big nerd thing, and wrote a couple of things for the Stan Lee thing. What other Geeks Who Drink was this other nerd thing I
right.
did
That was on
year.
Sci-Fi Channel?
Sci-Fi, yeah.
Okay.
I love the nerds love me. This is how we roll.
Do you consider yourself a nerd? Or do you have complex relationship with that?
That's a great question. So far off to a good start. Nowadays, it's such a term that like people just throw around because they want to. I mean, people say they're nerds and they're not nerds, and then they justify it by saying, "Well, you can be a nerd about sports." And it's like, if you're just really into sports, you're a nerd about sports. And it's like, fuck you, I get it.
It is a battleground word for sure.
Yeah, when you were in high school, no one went to a jock and was like, "You nerd, you like sports, nerd." Like that's not a thing that happened. You know?
Get dates easily. Everyone likes you. You nerd.
Yeah, nerd is like a skinny guy who wears black shirts.
Which is what both of us are.
Yeah, exactly. And, things don't come as easy, but we make up for it with our personality, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like to try to have a, big tent philosophy of letting people in. I think there are a lot of jocks and sports fans who aren't, like, anxious to be like, I wish they'd call me a nerd and let me play. Like, because I think a lot of sports fans are like, they're happy.
Yeah,
they like the thing that the vast majority of the world likes.
Exactly.
And feel very little stigma ever for it. So I don't feel like there's feeling excluded.
And even with that, too, liking what the vast majority of the world likes, Star Wars is one of the biggest movies of all time.
Yes.
I mean, everybody likes that.
Yes.
So, like, does that make you it's like it's a very hard question to ask. Also, it's like if it's popularity, then like that's pretty popular.
Yeah.
I would qualify myself as a nerd just because I really love to find out the most about certain things, even though I don't know why. It's like, oh, well, but he wasn't really born. It's like, why do I care about that? I don't know why I care, but I do.
Yeah. You want to be able to tell somebody, right? And show somebody.
That's
I want to be able to correct my friends.
That's exactly it. That's what being a nerd is about. Having enough knowledge to correct your friends and people.
Which sports people do too.
That's true.
It's a conundrum.
All right, we're all nerds. All right.
We're all nerds. It's a meaningless term now. But that's a good segue to your actual obsession because you're a little bit of confusion exists about your obsession too, right?
A lot of confusion.
Yeah. So this, for full honesty, I was asking if you had a general horror thing to talk about because we're doing some kind of horror episodes right around now for Halloween.
Sure.
And I had talked to you about The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And then you said, well, really what I'm obsessed with is all of these sort of apocalypse TV shows that I have to watch whether they're good or not.
Most of them are really bad. Yeah. Okay. But I have to watch every single one. I mean, Falling Skies, I watch The Strain, I watch Colony, like anything. Anything that you tell me there's like some sort of apocalypse thing happening, I'm on board. Even if it's terrible, I'm going to watch the whole thing. And I kind of don't understand why, but I also do kind of understand why.
Okay.
But maybe we'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. So The Walking Dead is
of course,
is up there too. But at this point,
well, I've seen every episode of The Walking Dead.
And at this point, you like it okay, or you hate watching it?
Oh boy. Well, the last, it's been up and down, I'll say. I loved the first season. I know a lot of people didn't like the first season. I think I liked the second season. What season are we on now? 7?
7, I think, is gonna start.
The last season definitely got better. There was like 4 and 5 I think I didn't like. Like the farm stuff got a bit too much. My whole thing with The Walking Dead in general, which I'll then compliment them for what they did at the end of the year, is it's just pretty much the same thing every episode. It's just, oh my God, we ran out of something, or we don't have enough of something. Someone's got to go out and get it.
Yeah.
And
so
then
it's a tale of grocery shopping.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. We got to go get it. And it's like, okay. And we got to bring someone that we don't really know that much about. So that's the guy that's going to die from the zombie.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so who's going to come? Oh, well, Daryl's going to go. Oh, okay. Who's Daryl going to bring? Daryl's gonna bring Jack. It's like, who's Jack? It's like, I don't know, but he's gonna die. And then so they go and they get a thing, and then he dies, and then they come back, and like that's the whole thing. It's just the same thing over and over. But the season finale I loved until the last beat.
Right.
I thought that was one of the best episodes I had ever seen. Actually, it was so much tension with the. Did you see the?
Yeah, yeah.
So much tension with the car driving to each dead end, and like that was awesome. And there was such high stakes and so great. And then at the end, when they didn't tell you who he killed, I thought they just ruined what could have been one of the best episodes ever of that show.
Yeah. They definitely, and spoiler warning for people who want to watch Walking Dead, we won't go into it in too much more detail, but but they turned what would have been a narrative moment into a summer-long guessing game.
Yeah. It would have been so much more powerful to have seen what happened, you know?
Yeah, and then have to spend the summer going, how are they going to cope with that?
Yeah.
Who is that going to affect? How's that? And instead it's just like, whoa, who died?
But I think they did a great job also of, especially with Negan being how terrible he is.
Yeah.
He did a great job of like, and the show did a great job of having the viewers be like, okay, well, you know, if someone stumbled upon Rick, wouldn't they think Rick is Negan? Are we just because we've been with them the longest, our point of view shows that, you know, I think they've been doing a really good job with that of like, well, everyone's just like Negan, right? Or like, is Rick a bad guy? Or is everyone else a bad guy? Am I cheering villains on? You know, it's like,
they definitely took the Apocalypse game that step farther of like, no, our heroes are doing pretty monstrous things by standard definition.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah. And so they've definitely won me back. Last year I thought it was a really strong season.
Okay.
But the stuff before that, they had way too many bottle episodes. Like the episode with Daryl and Beth,
yeah, I think Beth.
In the house.
I think they played piano and whatnot.
And they played piano and the house was burning down. And I think they played like burning down the house when they walked away. And I was like, oh my God, this is just like...
It was like a VH1 second channel music video. Yeah, for sure.
The problem is they take themselves too serious. Look, the show is not going to win any Emmy Awards.
Yeah.
It's never going to.
Yeah.
But they were taking themselves too seriously to the fact that they thought they should be by giving these long, dramatic monologues and all this. Like, it's like, no, just be what you are. Just embrace it. And like... just let us love it.
Okay. So it sounds like you actually do have some appreciation for The Walking Dead, and if not, like, complex thoughts about it.
Yes.
So these other ones that you define as just that you hate watch and you can't stop and you don't know why. What are those? I'm not familiar with
Falling Skies
at all.
I think it was 5 seasons.
Damn.
Or we could check later. But that was insane. So Falling Skies was just an alien invasion thing.
Okay.
With Noah Wyle. And... again, I was like, aliens, I'm bored. Like, they take over. Like, let me see what's going to happen here.
Right.
And it was good. I mean, it's always a fine line with these shows, like this, with The Strain, which I can get into after, of not embracing, like, the cheesiness of it, or, like, you know, there's, like, a thin line between taking yourself seriously or kind of parodying yourself, which The Strain used to take itself seriously, and now it's like, oh no, this is just like pretty soapy, ridiculous shit. Like, please like it, you know? Okay. But with Falling Skies, it was, I'll tell you the exact moment, actually.
Okay.
Season 3, I think it was, premiere. And I was kind of into it. I watched it. I defended it to everybody. I was like, no, people should be watching Falling Skies. It says so much about human beings. And then the season premiere, there was a fight between the humans and the aliens. And all of a sudden, an alien came riding on a horse, on horseback. A horseback riding alien came to help and save Noah Wyle.
Okay.
And I couldn't believe it. That's not only what you're doing in the premiere. And I remember my girlfriend walked by and she was like, is that an alien riding a horse? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, why the fuck are you watching this show? And I was like, leave me alone. It used to be good. And I've watched 3 years since that. But that was the jumping the shark moment.
It was the alien on a horse.
The alien on a horse moment. And then it was just like this puppet, like, it's so ridiculous. Like, why is the alien riding a horse?
Yeah.
I mean,
just for a good visual.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Okay, there was no narrative reason.
There was no narrative
mean
reason.
Anything.
No, I mean,
it was just an alien on a horse.
Yeah, I'm sure he had other alien technology that he could have used other than riding a horse.
Was it just to show Noah Wyle that he could take everything from him, including horses?
No, this alien ended up being a friend of Noah Wyle.
Oh, okay.
And then they ended up being friends. See, what happened was in Falling Skies was there was this alien race taking over, and that they were trying to battle, and then it turns out that maybe they were battling the wrong alien race, because there was a bigger alien race that was just taking over those aliens. So then the lower aliens were helping the humans, and the humans and the aliens paired up to go with the bigger. So when these guys paired up, that was like the visual of like, see, I'm like one of you guys. I'm on a horse, or like, you know,
I'm just like you.
But it was so ridiculous. And he was riding a horse and then
eating a taco. I'm just like you. I like gorditas. So now the strain is just vampires if they were gross, right? That's basically what the strain is.
Gross out, like voting for Trump. All the vampires voting for Trump.
Yeah, they just have really vile politics. They're very rude at the dinner table.
Build a wall. That vampire wants to build a wall.
This is how I know the strain is from the billboards that were all over LA a couple of years ago that caused controversy of the worm coming through the eyeball.
Can I say something funny about that?
Yeah.
There's now a new poster going on called Falling Water.
Okay.
Where there's like it's an eyeball. I saw the billboard 2 days ago. I was driving. Giant billboard, eyeball, water dropping in it, and I went, I'm gonna watch that whole series.
Just because his eyeballs?
Yeah, just because it seemed like something that I bet you something's going on there that I have to know about.
I bet that's gonna be good for 2 seasons.
And then the eyeballs are gonna be riding a horse.
Okay.
But yeah, the strain lost me. Like I think episode 3, but I'm on season 3 now.
Okay.
So, but it took itself too seriously when it was just beyond cheesy and ridiculous. And they did a little better job. And Corey Stoll wore this ridiculous wig because he's bald in real life.
Okay.
And so you can't stop looking at that the whole time. And he finally just got rid of it, which is good. But that show is another show that show is legitimately not a good show.
Yeah. How did he get rid of did he just... Did the character admit that he'd been wearing a wig?
Yeah, no.
Or did it
the funny thing
eaten by a vampire?
In interviews, he had claimed that he like hates wearing wigs and like he was so against it. So he probably just kept giving pushback. But the way that they wrote it into the storyline was that he was on the run and the government was looking for him. So he had to shave his head to like disguise himself. And so they still draw in like little dots where hair should be. And it's like, what are you doing? Like everyone knows Corey Stoll. Everyone knows who you fooling. Not fooling anyone.
That gives me a good sampling of the kind of shows that you're lumping into the sort of apocalypse television.
Yeah.
So let's get into the why.
Okay.
Are you an obsessive person in general? So like once you start something, you can't stop? Or are you fascinated with humans in like really mortal apocalypse danger? Is that the attraction?
There's a lot. I think there's a little bit of both with that, where I have this weird thing where if I do start something, I kind of have to know. Like Walking Dead, I was ready to throw in the towel, I think season 4, or whatever. And I had this weird thing where I was like, I've given 4 years of my life to this thing, you know? Now you see why I've been in a relationship for 8 years. But it's like, I've given so much time to this. I have to see how this plays out. That's how I felt with Falling Sky for the last 2 years. I was like, I got to see where this goes. It could, like, maybe they'll stick the landing, which they certainly did not in that show. So there's a little bit of that. But most of it, I think, is I just have a fascination with how humans react in situations like that. And I also like robot movies, which is really weird.
Okay.
I know that's not as horror theme, but if there's a robot movie on, I will cry at the end of it. Which I
just because it's
I
over,
just admitted to you on a podcast, but because it's over. Why is it still going? This is a little bit into my psyche for a second.
That's great.
I was flipping through the channels and Real Steel came on.
Okay, I don't know Real Steel.
Okay, it's a boxing movie with Hugh Jackman, where the robot is a boxer. Okay,
I blocked out Real Steel.
As you should. So did Hugh Jackman. I was flipping through the channels. I've never seen this movie.
Yeah,
I don't know what it's about. It was the last 5 minutes of the movie where he gets accepted as a human and he gets a hug, and I just started bawling.
Okay.
So I don't know if that also ties into the apocalypse thing.
Well, they seem related in that they are both using big sci-fi concepts to tease out what is the meaning of humanity.
Yeah.
And especially what is humanity at its most desperate or vulnerable.
Yeah. I think that's exactly it. Yeah. I think that that's probably a nice escape for me to also watch it in my TV with terrible television. So is that your sweet spot if a show did something really ridiculous? If a zombie rides up in Walking Dead on a horse? Well, that would be awesome. But yeah. That would be awesome. But in that moment, there was some perfect crystallization of some truth about humanity. Would that be like your sweet spot of like, I just saw the best television ever? Yeah, if that answered all of my questions in that moment, yeah. You just saw the truth of humanity in Rick's eyes? Yeah. Oh, there it is. That's really funny and accurate. Yeah, I guess that would happen.
Okay.
But,
I can totally understand being intrigued by knowing I like the mashup of science fiction with the desperation of the apocalypse story. But you're a writer, and you're a discerning writer, because we talked a lot about all the things you do like and you don't like.
Yeah.
So why do you think you can't let a bad thing go? Is it that you hope it's going to turn around? Is it optimism?
I think it might be a little bit of optimism, and I think it might be a little bit of because again, I'm not fooling myself in thinking it's good.
No.
The show, yeah, I certainly don't think it's
No.
good. If you ask me if The Strain is good, I will say no. Don't ever watch that show. But meanwhile, I watch it every week.
Yeah,
and like and this last week also, I went, oh, fuck, I have to watch this show, and like I put it on, and I don't know, and the whole time I was like, why am I watching this? But I think it might be a little bit of hoping, maybe rooting for the underdog a little bit. It's something that I wish that they could get right so badly that I'm willing to stick it out even more.
So you're being like a cheerleader in a way. Like you're, not that they can see or hear you, but you're on the sidelines going, come on, you can do it.
But it's funny how it's different with like, and I like any high concept show really, still about humanity, like Westworld, right?
Okay.
I don't know if you saw
I didn't watch
the premiere,
it yet.
But like that got fantastic reviews and I did not care for it. And I'm not going to give that another, like maybe I'll watch another episode.
Is there a reason that you can step away from it? Or are you just realizing that you have a problem?
I think, well, there was just one thing from the get-go. I mean, this doesn't spoil anything.
Okay.
But just from a fundamental standpoint of the show, is like the show is about an amusement park where, you know, these robots are there and people pay a lot of money to come in and act like cowboys and and live this adventure. And then the robots, like, all of a sudden, of course, start to have memories maybe, or start to have human emotions, sort of, even though like it's a thing that's been done a million times before. And that kind of storyline is a really great movie, you know?
Yeah.
But for a TV show, there are no stakes whatsoever in the fact of like, okay, the worst case scenario is they shut the park down.
Yeah.
Great. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
so like, how is that a thing
Right. So it's not life
that
or
people
death.
care about? Right. It's like,
not
how,
like-
that's why Jurassic Park worked as a movie, and that's
Yeah.
why, and which is this Westworld is the exact same thing. Of these people created this space, and then something bad happens, and then we follow this human the whole time. At Westworld, we don't follow a human, but we follow a human that we're cheering on, and then at the end, the park closes down, and we realize that we shouldn't have played God, and blah 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 blah. Right?
Yeah.
But like for this TV show, it's like there are no stakes. What worst case scenario? All right, we're shutting the park down. Great. Okay, I don't care.
Parks get shut
So
down all the time.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins loses money. Great. It's like, why am I supposed to watch that for a whole thing?
And it didn't make you. The robots didn't reach into that vulnerable part of yourself that make you weep when Hugh Jackman is on.
Yeah. See, that's a great point. I think maybe eventually it could get to that point, but it just didn't. And again, the acting was great. I mean, Anthony Hopkins is fantastic always.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Wright is fantastic always. Evan Rachel Wood is a great actress, but there's got to be a big thing for me to be invested in.
Yeah. So if you came across a show that was sort of your dream setup where the stakes were high, it was an apocalypse scenario where humans were limited and pushed into a corner, and it was by some big goony sci-fi contraption,
Love it.
like, you know, pirate robot aliens
I love it.
come to Earth.
Oh my God, I'm watching this show.
Wipe out, 70% of the population.
Okay.
How bad would the show have to be for you to say, I'm going to walk away from these other things that normally attract me?
The first episode has to be good enough to keep me in
Okay.
the thing. Yeah. So if anything takes me out of it, if the first episode is a 7,
Okay.
you got me for 7 seasons.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, for every number, that's how many seasons you'll
Yeah,
watch.
pretty much, yeah.
Okay, cool. So that makes sense. So that means if something is just a little bit good, you will continue to root for it.
If there's... I'm about to say this sentence out loud, and it sounds very cheesy, but if there is as much hope in this show as the hope I can find in humanity, I'll give it a chance.
Oh, that's awesome.
Pretty deep, right?
Yeah, actually, this is a little counseling for me, because there are things that aren't good or aren't always good that
Right.
I have recognized in myself. Like, I attach to things, and then I'm going to like them. I'm going to enjoy them.
Before you go into it.
Well, no, like if they're good to begin with.
Yeah.
Like I love the show 24. And I think it started out
Love
great, and then it fell into tropes and repetition. And
I'd still watch it again.
yeah,
I did
and
watch every episode.
I've watched it multiple times,
Yep.
and I would watch a random episode when it comes on. Yep. And Doctor Who has gone up and down in quality and, subjectively and objectively over the years, but I will never not watch Doctor Who, no matter what.
Right. Well, that's also the thing, too, with the Doctor Who thing of, like, that's just a world and space that, like, even if it's terrible, you still love the world and space so much that it's like, all right, well.
Doctor Who is a bad example of bad because it's kind of baked into its DNA that it might be, that part of it might be bad. Yeah, we're in the bad timeline now. We'll just revise that and everything will be fine. If you could, to free yourself from this time-consuming burden,
and it's embarrassing too. Like it is. Like my girlfriend is like very like I have to wait till she goes to sleep. It's like I feel like I'm like this. It's the like
she knows though,
this
right?
Drug addiction. Yeah, but it's still like.
But she just doesn't want to take
part of it. She sees it on the TV. It's like, what are you doing? You're really. And then I feel such guilt and shame because I shouldn't be watching it. That I'm like, yeah, you're right, and like I'll turn it off, and then she'll go to bed, and I'm like turning it back on.
Is it the level of embarrassment where like if you bring it up at a party where you're like, yeah, I'm still watching The Colony, your girlfriend's like, damn, don't say that in public, dude.
Well, luckily, I tend to surround myself with people that at least would get it at a little bit. Like you get it, right?
Oh,
sort of.
Yeah. I mean, very much get it.
Right, but I mean. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't bring that up to someone that I just met. I'll tell you that much.
Right, because you're not proselytizing. You're not saying you got to go watch The Colony.
Exactly. I don't want people to think I have bad taste because, trust me, got great taste. And I know that it's terrible. I know it's terrible, but I watch it.
So if you had the power to just cancel one of them and free yourself a little bit, which one would you just axe?
I would cancel The Strain. There's really no emotional investment in it whatsoever anymore. Like, it's just so batshit off the rails of, like, the main guy used to be in the Holocaust, and somehow he's 130, and it's like, and he's, like, hunting this vampire. It's really stupid. And the vampire looks like he bought a Halloween costume. It's like, it's really, really bad. The Strain is very close to being on its way out for me, I gotta be honest. Like I said, the last time I watched it,
It's great that it's called The Strain.
That's exactly right.
I think this is all making sense to me.
Well, good. At least someone understands.
It'll be the worst episode of this podcast, but I'm just like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You gotta leave, man.
You just have I got a speed dial of a counselor, an actual counselor. But I think a lot of it is, it's sounding like a decent amount of it is the apocalypse scenario.
Yeah, I love it so much.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating that we're so obsessed with that. I think it's natural to be obsessed with wanting the opposite of what we have, and we're more connected and more civilized in a way than we ever have been.
Yeah.
Because of the internet and social media and the speed of communication. So then everybody fantasizes about like, what if no one could ever email me?
I know. Yeah, it's very true.
I don't care if it means I'm being attacked by vampires. I just don't want emails anymore. So I'm going to fantasize about
that. That's a very great point. And just like the whole, I even watched a whole season of, well, the only season because it was canceled, of this Tay Diggs show on Netflix where he lives the same day over and over again.
Oh, wow.
Ate it up, man. Give me a season 2.
So because that was about the limited choices, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you're also fascinated by any time that the humans have like limited options, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And how things play out if we make a certain choice or don't make a certain choice, and ultimately if that even affects how we feel with that choice. It's like, if I choose one thing or the other, will I still be sad regardless? Will I still have the same emotional response? Well, is there really any way to be happy? That kind of stuff I just love so much anyway. So
have you, like, I think a lot of people who like apocalypse stuff, have you fantasized about your own personal plans for the apocalypse?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So, do you know, like, if we live in the same neighborhood, I don't say like exactly where I live, just in case there are dangers out there.
Of course.
But we live in the same general neighborhood.
We do, yeah.
Have you looked around our neighborhood and said, this is where to go? This is how to handle it?
I have not gone that far, no. Okay. Have you done that? Have you, like, looked at places?
Yeah, well, because I binge watched most of The Walking Dead in about a week when my wife was out of town.
Gotcha.
Because we tried the first season and she was only okay on it. Yeah. And we watched most things together. So I was like, great, here's a juicy drama that everybody's talking about that I can just blah, 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 which I did. And then, yes, everywhere I looked. It was at a time where I also just wanted to have something that just distracted me from real life.
Sure, yeah.
So I was like, oh, great, you wasted another hour of my life with this guy from the other town dinking around, great. It's just another hour.
There's a reason why it gets like 15 million viewers or whatever it is, and it's for a good reason.
It is the most popular hate watch show that I've ever. Yeah, I mean it's amazing.
But sorry to interrupt. So you found places to hide.
Oh yeah, I don't know if they're good, but I definitely thought about the physical. Like
that's great. What's wrong with your place? What's wrong with your? It looks pretty safe to me.
I think this is pretty good. Yeah. When I'm watching, I'm always like, go higher. And I'm on the 4th floor of my building, and I've got easy access to the roof. And I know that you still have your supply issues. That's always the thing.
That's very true.
But for the initial thing,
I'm
just like, I would lock my door and/or go to the roof.
Yeah, you got to go.
Yeah,
go as high as possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also it depends on. Are we talking zombie apocalypse?
Yeah, zombies or vampires or aliens on horses.
You're not getting away from aliens on horses, no matter how hard you try.
They've got the height advantage too.
You got to go high, and you also got to think that like they're supposed to be dumb. So you'd think that you can outsmart them, but the whole thing is that there's just so many of them that you can't get rid of things. So what happens if you're on the roof and they've just taken over the whole building?
Right.
What do you do then? Then you're fucked, right? 'Cause you can't go back down.
Well, then I can try to slide across on power lines.
Because I feel like that's a problem with getting too high. Is then if they come up, but I don't think they would go all the way to the roof. I feel like they would give up after a while.
I think I have the dumb fantasy that I think a lot of people have from playing video games and role-playing games that I would recognize the threat and at least be calm and smart about it immediately. Because with so many representations of the apocalypse, the initial problems happen because everybody freaks out and no one is organized. And I'm fascinated if there actually was like straight up zombies. Obviously, we all know what they are. Yeah. We wouldn't call them walkers or stinkers or whatever other bullshit name. It's like, it's zombies.
Right.
And we would know as a culture how to handle it. I'm fascinated if we would do a good job.
Yeah, that's true. I think maybe we would do a good job. I mean, if they're anything like we've seen. Yeah. Right? But what if they're nothing like what we've seen?
Then we're screwed.
What if they can run? Yeah. What if they're smart? What if who's to say zombies are dumb?
Yeah, I know. That's a real problem.
Yeah, what if or what if there's one really smart one like the gremlins, one really smart gremlin?
What would you want? Who would you want to be in the apocalypse? Because everybody in the stories always finds their role and what their value is. And if they don't have one, they learn one so they can have a value in society. Have you thought about that? Of like what role you would want to play?
Just the stereotypical role of like leader or doctor or like whatever, like that kind of thing. I would like to be the leader of the group. And if you don't want me to be the leader, you're out of the fucking group. Sorry. No,
that's great.
See, wasn't that a good leadership?
That's really good leadership.
I feel like I'd be good at like calming people down, I think.
Okay.
And I feel like my best asset in that scenario, because as I alluded to earlier for people listening, I am not a big person. I'm very, very skinny. I can't do anything physically. Like I can't, I can kind of lift stuff, but like you're not going to call me to carry something. You're not going to call me to build something.
No,
I can't build anything. Yeah, I can't fight a zombie.
I'm in the same way. If like somebody in my party gets wounded, like I can't carry you. I'm sorry.
I can't do it. I wish I could.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like I am good at like especially under stressful situations, be it in my work history or just in life. I'm very good at like calming people down.
Yeah.
Or trying to be like, oh no, it's all good. We can try. Come on, let's and get people to like be like, yeah, maybe he's right or something like that. So I feel like that would be my best asset. What about you?
I think I would want to be a leader, and I don't know if that I have generally good instincts when there's a crisis.
That's my thing too. I come up with a good plan.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd come up with a good plan, but the same thing as you of like, I've been in lots of situations. I haven't always lived in the best neighborhoods where there's like suddenly an emergency. Oh, wow. And when other people freak out, I get much more calm. Like if I'm sitting and deciding whether or not I'm making the right choice about which joke I should tweet right now, I will be an indecisive mess. But if somebody gets shot next to me and be like, well, great, pressure on the wound, 911, and it is just something that kicks in, I don't know that I would have the actual best plans. So I think I'd be the guy who would be the face of the leadership, where I'd be like, all right, here's what we're going to do. And then I would
And you'd have,
whisper
like, a
to
number
the,
two.
to the number two who'd be like, the roof's a bad idea. Don't go to the roof. And I'd be like, we're not going to the roof. And everyone would listen to me, even though it wasn't my idea.
Yeah, that's the way to go. That's a true leader right there. Yeah.
It is a true leader.
Way to go.
Yeah. Taking all the credit for someone else's good ideas.
Yeah.
A true leader.
Yeah.
But I like what you're saying, because what you're saying about your role in the apocalypse is kind of what you said earlier about reacting to the TV shows, that in a way being like a cheerleader of coming in and going, it's okay. I know your show's kind of falling apart, but I'm still here. I gotcha.
Guys, I know that the network gave some real strict notes here. It's not what you wanted to do, but I'm with you. I believe you can come up with this. But yeah,
we can make the alien on the horse work if we
can
pull
make
together.
It work, please. I promise you. But yeah, I think that's, as long as you're it's as like you just said, in situations like that, that's a really big thing. If you're just calm, it really does rub off on everyone else to be like, oh, well, this guy's, okay, all right.
Oh, yeah.
He seems to, even if it's total bullshit and you don't know what you're doing, it's like, oh, he seems to know what's going on there.
Yeah.
All right.
It'd be horrible if you were a leader who did freak out. Like, all right, everybody, listen, we're fucked.
We're fucked. Run, everybody run.
Run in different directions. Wave your arms. Shoot, loot, do it all.
Hey guys, this is Sarah Meyer, the co-producer of this podcast, and this week I've come out to Venice Beach to ask people how they feel about apocalypse TV shows.
The apocalypse? What's the apocalypse? I really don't watch TV. I watch sports.
Do you like shows about the apocalypse?
I don't. They scare me.
Of course. Who doesn't?
Yeah, all the time. I watch them all the time, yeah.
Walking Dead.
I just love seeing people die. It's just, blood and gore and all that, It's good stuff, yeah.
Have you ever watched The Walking Dead?
Yes, The Walking Dead I absolutely love.
I don't know how Rick keeps on living, but yeah.
If you could hang out with Rick, would you?
I would be his best friend.
Yeah.
I will follow him wherever.
Are you guys ready for the apocalypse?
No, I haven't bought any extra water or canned goods or anything, so absolutely not.
I think people have been ready for the how do you say it?
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
I'm ready. Bring it. I will scavenger and ruthless, gouge your eyes, whatever I need to do to survive.
I think I'd kill a lot of people.
A lot of people.
How?
Zombies?
Oh, with just weapons and stuff. Oh, zombies too, yeah. They're mostly gonna die, yeah.
I'd probably, I would seriously just go straight to the woods with a rifle and just hunt for food.
I guess if it happened right now, I'd definitely try to take one of these cars and get out of here, try to drive as far.
Traffic though?
Well, I wouldn't take the freeways, and I'd take the sidewalks, I'd run people over if
I don't think I want to be in your survival band. Did you say you're nurses?
Yeah.
So if you were in the ER or in a hospital when the end of the world happened, what would that be like?
There'll be a lot of dead patients. Look, I'm sorry, but I gotta go because I don't want to die.
What's the best place in LA to hide from zombies?
I live in Texas, so I'd probably hide in the woods somewhere.
How would Texans handle a zombie apocalypse?
Oh, they'll be the only ones standing. They're the only ones with all the guns and with the common sense.
Are you saying we're stupid?
You guys are pretty stupid. I just thought about it. If it happened right now this second, I'd go and take a boat out to the ocean.
And you'd be stuck in the ocean. And all the zombies hang out by the beach because they need to drink water to survive.
Where's the best place in LA to hide from zombies?
I think at the beach is a pretty safe place.
So we're okay here.
Yeah, we're safe here.
Venice Beach. Because I don't think they know how to swim. You want me? Come follow me in the water. They're like, I'm drowning. Yeah, bitch, that's the whole point. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to move on to our How Obsessed Are You questions.
Oh,
these
boy.
are questions, I ask versions of these questions to everyone on the podcast.
Okay.
And just for ease of talking about it, we'll say you're obsessed with apocalypse television.
Yeah, we are. I am, yeah.
So do you think about apocalypse television every day?
I think about the issues that it brings up every day,
Okay.
like I mentioned earlier. Yeah, or maybe something will come in my head of a new apocalypse TV show, but
like an actual one to write.
Yeah, or
to
something like
create.
that. Like, oh, that would be a cool idea, and then forget about it later or whatever. But I definitely don't on a Thursday. I don't think oh, Walking Dead Sunday. I don't do that. But on a Sunday day, I'd be like, ooh, Walking Dead tonight.
Okay. You're all out of bed with the bounce in your step. Yeah. Rick's gonna get people killed tonight.
So I definitely do think. I think about what those shows are about every day.
Okay.
But I don't necessarily think about the particular show every day.
Do you think the layers, deep ideas that obviously you're pulling from them about the nature of humanity, or do you think about like the more practical aspects?
I think about the deeper underlying stuff. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Have you ever had a dream about one of these television shows?
Yeah.
Which one?
So I was on the back of a horse with an alien holding... No, okay. No, Walking Dead.
Okay.
I dreamed that I was part of that crew. Not everyone was there.
Okay.
Rick was there.
Rick was there.
But I was there. Was Daryl there? Daryl was not there. Rick was there. Carol was there.
Okay.
And like other people that weren't there. So I was also just thrown off because I was like, well, where's everybody else?
Where's the gang?
Yeah, I was like, where's the gang? And then like I kept wondering if like they got killed or whatever.
Okay.
And it was like a whole big group meeting, and I tried like telling them, I was like, look, I know that like you're gonna try to go into this town, and like they had another, like it was like some stupid plot. It's to like go steal stuff from another group or whatever.
Okay.
In the
your dream.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I was like, okay, well, let's just hold on. I think that maybe like I've seen this before, like with you guys, and like no one believed me. It was very frustrating.
When you had that Walking Dead dream and you woke up from it,
yeah,
did you say like, I need to take a break from the show? Or
no, I was still just upset that they didn't listen to me, and I was like, it would be such a better show if they listened to me.
Wow. So even in your dreams, you're sort of like, hey, just listen. I'm trying to help you out.
Don't go in there, guys. Yeah. Rick, you talk too much. No.
I was going to ask you this anyway, so I'll bump it up in my list.
All right.
Would you be willing to hang out with Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead in real life if he just showed up on your doorstep and was like, dirty, bearded, with a machine gun and said, let's get a beer?
An actual Rick. Not
Rick.
the actor.
Not the actor.
Okay.
Andrew Lincoln?
Andrew Lincoln, yeah.
With his charming little British accent, who wouldn't have a beer with him?
That's true.
Dirty, angry.
I would, without a doubt, have a beer with Rick. Sure.
Okay. And would you try to talk to him about his leadership skills, or would you just ask him about his life?
Am I all of a sudden in a world with with zombies, or is he in like modern day world?
This
and
is
like just Rick is walking around like, holy shit, Rick Grimes.
He just knocks in your door, and you think a UPS
like tomorrow.
Maybe it's a UPS guy, and you open the door, and it's Rick Grimes.
That would be amazing.
And he just says, "I know this is weird.
Yeah.
I'm Rick Grimes.
Yeah.
I'd like to get a beer with you."
Okay, it doesn't matter what I'm wearing, I would walk out the door. It doesn't matter what time of day, I would go have a beer with him. For the first half hour, I would probably think it's Andrew Lincoln fucking with me, but who cares? It's still awesome.
Still, yeah.
After he proved it to me, I don't know how. I would have the time of my life. That would be fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like Rick now. I used to be a Shane guy.
Okay.
I used to really like Shane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like my main characters to be complex, you know?
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I didn't care for Ned Stark on Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Granted, I liked him. When his answer to everything is just going to be, oh yeah, it's this is the just way. It's like, all right, dude, come on. Like, it's all one note. I like my people like that. I like my characters on TV to be more complex. Like Jaime Lannister is my favorite Game of Thrones character.
Yeah.
But like, so at first Rick was very much just the Ned Stark kind of thing. And then he has since, like, ever since Shane died on the show.
That's fine.
Okay, damn it, sorry. He didn't die on the show. I mean, like, he just, guys, I blew it.
Shane went to a farm.
Yeah. But ever since he left the show, because he didn't necessarily die, and that's the truth, and he might be coming back. Ever since he left the show, I feel like he's kind of absorbed that character, Rick, and so that's made him way more interesting to me.
Yeah.
So I love his character so much that I would just talk to him for a long time, Rick. A long time.
About the choices he made.
Yeah. And just how he feels now, I guess. Because now if he's in this real world, I'd be like, well, what do you think about everything now?
Yeah.
You did all this stuff like that seemed like the right thing to do then. Like, do you regret like just killing people that weren't even zombies? Do you regret that? Or like, would I do that? Tell me, Rick. Tell me. And why is your son such a bad actor?
That poor guy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
Yeah. I like Carl. But again, I got to see him grow up real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Carl grew up and he was advanced aging for me. Carl.
That's very good.
Yeah, I think that's an utterly fascinating question. If the characters on Walking Dead would even want the real world back.
That's a great question.
I was so happy when they moved locations. It used to be totally like Atlanta based, and then they moved up to Washington area, and now they're having all of these new problems.
Yeah.
Which was great for me because, especially watching it in rapid succession, it was like, I think you've got Atlanta taken care of. I think you have killed every zombie. And I think if you wanted, you could just start rebuilding society. But I don't think you want to.
Yeah, you can just hang out there now.
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty safe place.
So that's what I would grill Rick on. Like, you don't want all this back. I mean, we're sitting here in this bar.
That'd be a great conversation.
You're drinking a craft beer. You don't want this, do you?
Yeah, no, he wouldn't.
You want
he might kill you if you bring that up.
Cut my hand off just to teach me something. Oh, that's great. Would you swear at someone who disagreed with you about Apocalypse Television? Are your feelings so strong that if somebody adamantly disagreed with you about one of your opinions, would you be mad enough to swear?
If they disagreed with why I find it to be interesting,
okay,
you bet. But like I said, if you tell me The Strain is a terrible show, I'm going to go, yeah, it's a terrible show. You should not be watching this show.
Okay.
Anyone listening to this, again, please don't watch The Strain. And if you are watching it, why are you watching it? Why? You're a dope.
Would you want a friend to come over and watch The Strain
yes.
with you?
If you're listening to this podcast, please, someone reach out to me and come watch The Strain with me if you're watching The Strain, okay?
No,
seriously. I don't know anyone else that watches it. Thank you.
A little PSA. A cry for help. But that makes sense. If it's not the shows, it's the meat behind the shows.
Yeah, because it's a weird, like we talked about, it's a weird obsession in the fact that I'm fully aware that you should not like it.
Yeah.
But I just still can't. I'm not blind to like. I believe me. There's some people that I'm sure are obsessed with The Strain that think it's a great show.
Yeah.
And they'll defend it to the death. They're totally wrong, but I think they just like it for the same reason I do, and they're just too sad to admit that the show itself is a bad show.
I think so much has to do with when you see things too. So like if you're younger too, or you've just like, even if you're an older person, like I've never given horror a try, and this is the first horror thing I see.
That's very true. Yeah.
Then it's mind blowing,
yeah,
right?
If you don't know something has done something better, then why? It's like if there's been something that's handled that way better. It's like, oh, but if this is my first thing to it, then yeah, this is a great show.
Then absolutely. Yeah. Then The Strain all the way. Then strange medical vampires putting worms in people's ears for ears and their eyes. Everywhere. Yeah, worms are everywhere.
Yeah, it gets in your body.
When someone walks into your home, would they be able to tell that you're obsessed with Apocalypse Television just by looking around?
No. I mean, if I lived by myself, like I said, I've lived with the same beautiful, amazing person for 8 years now.
Okay.
And if I didn't live with her, then probably, yeah. You probably see some Strain posters with like X's over them that I put on them of like, why is this on my wall? But no, you wouldn't see a Strain poster, but you would see like a bunch of like my desk whenever I work places, I'll put all of my toys and stuff that I'm not allowed to have at home.
Okay.
So, or not that I'm not allowed. I get it. You don't want it's stupid shit. You don't want that. You don't want that out.
There's some weird stuff. I mean, I went to Target and I saw a action figure for the character Dale, right?
Yeah.
The kind of he's not straining the use of the word action in action figure. There's a Dale action figure. He's like, I think
he fixes the car. Like
fixes the car and he lectures people on moral choices. This is like your action figure.
There you go. Yeah.
Moralizing.
There's
action. Dale. So that's a weird thing to just out of context. Like my wife hasn't watched The Walking Dead, but I like action figures. I have a decent amount of action figures.
I like them too.
But if I just brought an action figure home of a 50-year-old bearded man who looks kind of sad and like I want this action figure out of no context.
That doesn't look good over here.
Maybe another Doctor Who action figure or Star Wars. Okay, cool. That makes sense. So it's kind of hidden because people can see your full life with your partner.
And it's also just hidden because I probably want it to be hidden. So it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
So you don't have any of these on DVD or Blu-ray?
No, I don't.
Okay. Cool. Would you dress up as a character from one of these shows at San Diego Comic-Con?
I would not do it myself.
Okay.
If someone said, hey, come to Comic-Con, dress up as someone, I would definitely do it.
Yeah. Do you know which character you do? Dale?
Yeah. No, that'd be really fun. The governor is a cool thing. Just because people would get it right away.
Right.
Like, oh, there's the eye patch. I know this guy, who this guy is.
Nice and recognizable.
Just because he's nice and recognizable. Corey Stoll from The Strain would be funny to dress up as. Falling Skies is really not anyone to dress up as.
But you would dress as a
colony,
a human, not one of the monsters.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So that would be your first choice.
Yeah.
So you don't, because you want to be the humans. That's what's interesting to you.
Yeah.
You want to be.
Yeah, I don't like these
humanity.
monsters, man. I don't want to be them. They're tearing us apart.
Okay, so this is a weirder question that I've been trying to perfect to get it right, in my How Obsessed Are You question.
Let's see if you get it.
It is time to watch The Strain.
Okay.
You enter your home and go, I'm going to go watch it on my television.
Yeah.
But there's a bear blocking your path. Would you try to navigate around the bear? Or would you just say, it's okay, I don't need to see The Strain?
That's really funny. Okay. The bear is going to kill me or no?
It's just standing there.
Okay.
You don't know. I mean, it's a bear, so
right.
It's got killing power.
Right. The ability is there. And it's not like a circus bear. It's like a bear. Okay.
It's not wearing a tutu.
Okay.
It's
so
just
it's
a bear.
very threatening bear. Okay. And it's just in the way of the TV. I would... Well, the thing that just popped in my head, which is another just weird thing in general about why I watch these shows.
Yeah.
That I should have said earlier too is this excuse that I give to my girlfriend, which is not really an excuse.
Yeah.
Is I always say, well, I have to know about it so I can talk about it with people. I don't know anybody that watches The Strain. I don't know one person in my life that I am talking to The Strain about.
Right.
But I still say something like, oh, well, I got to know about it so I can talk about it with people. And it's like, I've never had a conversation with, this is the first time I've ever talked about The Strain before. But so that just popped in my head of like a reason.
Is that an industry bullshit thing where you're
No, because who's
like,
talking about The Strain? It's not like a show to, you know what I mean? And in most cases, that would be like an industry thing of like, oh, you haven't seen Transparent? And
but like you write comedy, so like you try to stay up on comedy, so that's like a legitimate excuse for comedy shows.
Correct, yeah. Or you try to see what's selling or what people like or stuff like that. That's a legitimate excuse to at least watch one episode of something so you can just at least be knowledgeable. And like a meeting to be like, oh, well, but you know, this gets whatever. Yeah, I've never talked about The Strain to anyone.
You're not pitching apocalypse shows.
Pitching apocalypse shows. I don't write apocalypse shows. And so the thing that just popped in my head with the bear was in my head, I went, well, how am I going to talk about The Strain with people if the bear is there? And then that's why I went down this whole spiral that I just told you about of that's not even a thing that's there.
Yeah.
So I think I might just be a crazy person. So the point is I would begrudgingly, because the bear was there, and let's be realistic, I would find a way to watch it on my DVR later. Is the bear just living there now? Is that what's happening?
That would be an ongoing problem you'd have to deal with.
That's between me and the bear.
Yeah,
right.
But
okay.
your instinct wouldn't be, I need to get past this bear.
No. Certainly not for The Strain. No.
Right.
Especially because it's gotten to the point now where it's a thing where I don't like that I have to do. So it's like if the bear was there, it would be like oh, thank God. I don't even have to lie to myself that I have to watch this show, you know?
Right. So the bear would let you off the hook.
Yeah. So I kind of want that bear to be around all the time. And then maybe if enough time goes by, I could be like, oh, well, I can't catch up now on The Strain.
Well, do you think that would work if you tried to see the bear as a form of self-counseling? If you're like going to the couch in like a weird David Lynch vision from Twin Peaks, you see the bear sitting on the couch.
That's a good idea. Or I could do some sort of like Pavlov dog thing where I could like have a bear noise every time I go to like touch the. All right. It's a good idea.
All right. That's a unique answer, I think,
question.
and good for this particular obsession because you're looking for a way out.
Yeah. Yes.
Thanks, bear.
Thanks, bear.
This bear's really my sponsor. The final question that I ask everybody is very weird.
Okay.
If you couldn't watch apocalypse television, without you or someone you love first being punched in the crotch, would you still watch apocalypse television?
Oh wow! Define someone I love.
Someone you care about.
So I genuinely do have to care about this person.
Yeah, it can't be just like I'm related to this asshole.
Okay, okay. Because immediately in my head was like, yeah, fucking, punch my Uncle Eddie. I don't give a fuck. Also, if Uncle Eddie listens to this, I'm kidding. I don't have any other relatives. That's why I had to say his name. It just popped in there. I love you very much. I love the whole family. Anyway, point is, so I would. Oh man. I would have to punch in the crotch, man.
Yeah. It's a steep price to pay. But sometimes people are like, yes, I'm so obsessed with this. Of course.
If I could never watch any sort of apocalyptic show ever again, I would have to take the punch, yeah.
Because they mean enough to you.
Yeah, I'd have to take the punch. I mean, I'd love them very much. And are we counting Are we counting like robot stuff as to be apocalypse stuff too?
No, that seems too cruel to say. I want to watch 10 minutes of a Hugh Jackman film and cry.
Okay, good.
But first I have to be punched in the crotch. It seems too cruel.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't want to put that on anyone else to take the punch for me. I mean,
okay.
So yeah, I guess I'd have to take the punch.
Yeah.
And then do I have to take a punch for each hour-long episode?
No, that seems too much.
Oh, okay.
So like it's a subscription. This comes up a lot. People
Okay.
Barter with a question,
Yeah,
understandably
sure.
so.
Right, yeah.
So it's like a subscription to Netflix. It's once a month.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's once a month.
Yeah.
Okay. And who's punching? Is it really?
Yeah.
You know what?
It's got to be decently hard.
I don't even have to know. Once a month, I'll do it for once a month.
Okay, once a month.
Yep.
Right. And then in a way it will only increase your obsession or maybe add value to your obsession.
Well, here's the thing that you don't know about. I'm also obsessed with getting punched in the crotch. So it's kind of a win-win for me.
That's going to be a terrible day when I get just a person who like, hey, different people are into different things. This is really what I'm into. Please don't make fun of it. And then I'm gonna have to come up with a whole different question.
Yeah, but no, I'm doing that if it's just once a month. I mean,
yeah,
that's just
the pain is part of it. I mean, that's part of your obsession, right? There's a little bit of,
I guess, yeah.
I mean, would you be as obsessed if you were just watching 7 amazingly well executed, high quality shows?
Man, that's
you were
a great
legitimately
question.
talking to friends about them all the time.
That's a great question.
Would you love it as much, or is part of it the?
Yeah, part of it I'm sure is subconsciously my writer's brain thinking I can fix something, or how can you trying to figure out what they got wrong, and like also, I mean, it's not apocalyptic obviously, but Game of Thrones I have some problems with, but as a whole, it's a pretty solid show.
Yeah.
And probably my favorite show on television. And I really like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think part of the allure to me is that much like, here we go, here's another little kind of fortune cookie thing, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
Much like the humans in the shows going through all of this pain and suffering, so am I while I'm watching.
Right, to discover your humanity, limiting your choices, so that you can discover stuff about yourself.
Yeah, I'm suffering just like Rick Grimes is, okay? Believe me, Rick.
I know lots of horrible things have happened to you.
We'll talk about it over a beer.
Awesome. I asked people to make a noise to sum up their obsession. What noise would sum up your obsession with apocalypse television?
This just popped in here, so I'll do it.
That's kind of perfect because that's clearly annoyance, but there's just a little bit of hope in that noise.
Hope in that, right? Right at the end of the, like it was a little, there's a little bit there.
It sounds like the non-word version of "Come on, guys, you can do better."
It's like, "Come on, guys, come on."
Awesome. So I've been rating people's obsessions.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 7. Okay. Just for flavor.
1 to 7.
1 to 7. I like the number 7. I'm kind of obsessive. That's why I do this podcast. So out of 7 aliens on horses, that's the highest it can go. I think I'm gonna say you are 5 out of 7 aliens on horses obsessed.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Because it is clearly consuming a lot of time.
Sure.
It is a part of your mental framework where you're going to be dreaming about it and thinking about it. You kind of want to be relieved of it, but you kind of don't at the same time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's in some ways, I think, one of the many definitions of obsession could be something I kind of want to let go, but I kind of don't want to at the same time. Like, I just kind of want to be upset about wanting to let it go, but I don't actually want to let it go.
I would agree with you. I think those last 2 aliens that have horses would be if I was dressing up as the people.
Yeah.
And if you walked into my house and you're like, oh boy, this guy is obsessed with.
Yeah, exactly. And if you really, really wanted to engage other people.
Yeah.
And bring other people into it. And they needed to hear about it.
Right.
But they needed to be converted.
But first, I know to do better than that. To be like, if you want to on your own account want to watch The Strain and then talk to me about it, like I said, please message me. I want to talk to someone. But I don't want to make you do that because it's gonna get you.
No, it's just for now. It's just you and that bear sitting there watching The Strain. So where can people find you? I know you're not much of a social media guy.
I'm not. I'm trying to get more into it. Though.
You don't want to be found?
Oh no, I do want to be found.
Okay,
yeah. I'm on Twitter.
Awesome.
I'm at the Big Dubowsky.
Nice.
Dubowsky. I'm not on Instagram. Don't really like Facebook or whatever. Well, I guess people listening wouldn't just Facebook me anyway. But yeah, Twitter, I guess, is the...
Okay.
I used to try to like tweet a joke a day.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no one's listening to this. Why am I wasting so much time on this? And so now I tweet maybe once every 3 months. But
okay.
I feel like I want to come back.
I would highly encourage that. I'm obsessed with Twitter. It is a borderline problem.
Well, I still go on. I still go on and like read like other people's jokes and stuff like that. Like I like that, but like I'm not just. I'm going to come back and do it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, I would be thrilled to have you there.
I'm going to do it. That's it. I'm promising I'm doing it. I just touched a thing. I'm back. I'm back, baby.
I touched fake wood. This cheap table.
I touched fake wood.
Scrimshaw's
so now you know that I'm back.
Here's some quick plugs that I need to do for the show. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram is @Joseph Scrimshaw. You can follow Obsessed Podcast on Twitter is @Obsessed Podcast. For info on all my upcoming shows, you can check out my website at josephscrimshaw.com. In particular, I do a show called Headcanon at Nerd Melt Theater every month, so come check that out. There are 2 ways to support Obsessed. You can back us on Patreon and get exclusive bonus episodes every month. For full info on that, go to patreon.com/Joseph Scrimshaw, or you can support all the podcasts on the Feral Audio Podcast Network by shopping through our portal. Just go to feralaudio.com, click the Support Our Artist button, and shop on Amazon, and some of the money will go to supporting Feral Audio. If people were going to go on Amazon right now through our portal, what do you think they should buy?
Probably DVD season 1 of The Strain.
Yeah. Nice. Really get them hooked.
Really get them hooked.
Yeah, so take up physical space in your home.
What would you buy?
What would I buy on Amazon? Doctor Who episodes on DVD for sure. I only buy them every once in a while.
On DVD?
Yeah. They're not out on Blu-ray yet.
Okay.
And the DVDs have these great, thorough bonus features.
I'm sure.
That are just as enjoyable as the episodes, because it's this peek into... Cool. It's all classic Doctor Who.
Right.
So it's this peek into this totally different world of production.
That's cool.
Of the way British people worked in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and their weird rivalries and opinions and where they had lunch. And it's great stuff. So I buy them whenever I can. Any excuse I can find. And I go through the portal, damn it.
Go through the portal.
Portal! Here are the final questions. Don't have anything to do with your obsession, but they can if you want.
Okay.
If every full moon you turned into a were something, what would you want to turn into?
That's very funny. Does it have to be an animal?
No, it could be what a were plant is fine.
No, I mean like it has to be like a creature is what I'm saying. Like I can't like every full moon turn into like an NBA basketball player.
No, that would be fine.
Okay.
That would be pretty awesome.
I would be the weirdest NBA basketball player. He plays once a month. I would want to be, I guess, an NBA basketball player.
Well, that's what comes to mind.
That's what came to mind. Now, I would want to be something that could fly. I mean, things that fly are just awesome, I guess.
Yeah. Would you want to be a flying NBA basketball player?
Yes, I would like to be a flying NBA basketball player. Yeah, I would. That'd be a fun thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could slam dunk.
Real easy.
Yeah, real easy. If I'm flying, come on, that's all I would do. I would believe. Oh my God! Once everyone would just love every month that I came to play.
Yeah. And the other teams would dread it.
Oh my God!
Oh man, is that guy gonna show up and fly around and ruin the game?
We don't know. We think it's supposed to be a full moon. What would you turn into?
What would I turn into? If I wear something? Probably a squirrel. I'm very obsessed with squirrels.
Squirrels are
and
cool.
I would like to see what it feels like to be truly able to move like that.
Oh, that would be cool.
I've done comedy sketches.
And you would have your consciousness in the squirrel.
Yeah, I would turn into a large squirrel.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that would be terrifying.
Yeah.
I think I'd also be good at basketball, though.
Oh my God, we should start a basketball. These the only two-person basketball team.
I think this is an Adult Swim show that we just created.
Yeah,
there's a basketball player who flies and a giant human squirrel, but only once a month.
I don't know why I said NBA player. What a weird thing.
It's great.
All right.
I'm so happy. Like most people, I've asked that question a couple of times, and most people are just like, "A dog, I don't know." Like, that's great.
I'm a flying NBA player. Once a month, baby.
Here's the next question. If there was a cocktail named after you, what would it be called?
That's so good. The super drinky drink.
The super drinky drink. Mm-hmm. I like that because it's just positive. There's no bullshit. You know.
But here's the catch. This is the thing.
Yeah.
So it's only filled halfway.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so they look at it and like the name is exciting.
Right.
So you obviously have to think that this glass is half full, right?
Yeah.
But it's not. It's half empty. You'd be wrong. It's measured to be like just an inch below the line of the halfway point.
Okay.
Or just a little bit less. So
right.
So it factually is half empty.
All right.
But you think that it's half full.
So you would lure people in with an exciting comic name, the super drinky drink.
Yep.
And then you would disappoint them.
Yeah.
Or teach them a
Wow,
lesson
you really
about
just broke
expectations.
Isn't that funny how I just said a random thing and you just broke down my whole allure? Wow, way to go.
Yeah, it's what I try to do. The last question, super easy.
Okay, all right.
That was a lie. I asked this for the end of every podcast.
Okay.
What is happiness?
Boy, well, this actually means something more to me now, which is weird. I just did a float last week.
A float?
Do you know what this is?
Like a sensory deprivation tank?
Yeah.
So you float in water. You can't see or hear anything, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I have a tremendous fear of death, and I think about mortality all the time. And so I was terrified to go into this thing, obviously.
Yeah.
But it had become recommended from a bunch of people all the time. And then my girlfriend and I both decided that we were going to do it. It's in Pasadena. It's called, I don't have to tell you this. They're not paying me. Whatever. It's not in Pasadena. Go find any float you want to go.
It's called the Super Floaty Float.
It's called the Super Floaty Float. The tank is half empty. No. And so you go in there. You're floating in Epsom salt the whole time. You close the thing. It's kind of soundproof a little bit. And the lights are dim for 5 minutes, and they play nice music, and then it's just gone for 55 minutes. So you're in there for an hour.
Does it slowly fade out, or is it just like a chukunk and it's gone?
Well, it slowly fades the music, but the light just like cuts.
Okay.
And then it was this really crazy experience, which is making me think of the happiness thing, because I first like stood up and I was like, fuck this, I'm not doing this. This is crazy, and I'm going to go to a dark place. But I ended up kind of going to like this weird place in general.
Okay.
Like, there's nothing here anymore. There's just me.
Right.
And to find happiness and just stuff in general, it's like, it's just all here, you know?
Right.
It's all in my head, essentially. You know, my conscience, that's where the happiness is. It's not, it wasn't anything, I couldn't see anything. So
yeah.
I couldn't do it. Was none of that shit. And I got to this really cool place. And then when you open the tank, when you're done, so you do it naked, or you can put a bathing suit on, but you're supposed to do it naked, so like there's nothing between you and the stuff like that.
Do they judge you if you wear underwear?
Well, no one's there, but you get your own private room. But
okay.
Yeah, it's your own private room with a shower, and but on the back of the door there's this full-length mirror, and so I had this really funny experience of I stood up in the tank, and I was like, oh, like yeah, I think life is great or whatever. And I open the door, and the first thing I see is my pathetic, skinny, naked body. And then I was like, oh, right. No, this is the reality. not what was in there. But that just made me think of that, because in that hour time, I was just thinking about what is everything? What is this happiness thing?
Yeah.
And like, it felt great because it kind of just took everything away. And I was like, oh, I think this is what it's all about. It's just this here.
Yeah.
This, as long as this is good. So I think happiness is just feeling good yourself.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it kind of ties back to that idea of limiting, not options, because that sounds negative, but limiting questions.
Yeah.
And that also sounds negative. Maybe I mean something negative. I don't know. But I like the idea of, if you aren't surrounded by all the noise, you have to just be that's
the thing. It's just be yourself. And it's just like, I literally had to sit in a tank where that happened for me to figure that. No, but it just felt good. And like, it felt, I'm going to try to do it again, because it was a little weird also, obviously. And for the first half hour, it felt like I was in there for 3 days. And I was like, how long is this over? Is this thing? So like half of it was that.
Yeah.
So if I do it again, at least my body will know how long that was. And maybe I won't be thinking about the time so much. But I recommend trying it. If you want to try it, go wherever you want to go. Don't go to a specific place. But it was definitely kind of cool. But yeah, happiness is just you being yourself, really, I think.
Yeah.
If you can just be yourself, then I think that's just total happiness. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks so much for doing the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Yay.
That is our podcast.
You've been listening to Obsessed. Joseph Scrimshaw and his guest shared some stories with the rest. Rate 5 stars if you're impressed.
So there's this scene in The Strain, and it continues to be a scene in The Strain because it's essentially what The Strain is about, I guess. These people run. So it's this evil big vampire who looks like, I have to show you a picture after this. Google a picture if you're listening to this, because it's insane what this guy looks like. That this is an actual thing on a TV show with money. So this guy is like trying to take over the whole world and stuff, right? But for some reason, there's these 3 like elder vampires who sit in a room. They stand in a room. It's the whole, it's the thing that the mythology they've been done for a long time. With the 3 of them in a room, and they're real old, and they stand there, and the special effects are terrible. And they talk to this 130-year-old Holocaust survivor who apparently is the only hope to kill the main vampire person. And there's so many problems with just the scene when they're talking to each other. And this just happened too because now they're in cahoots, these vampires, and because they decided that the main vampire was worse, that they have to team up. There's so many problems with a Holocaust survivor who's like 130, still running around with a sword, talking to these 3 terribly made up vampires about taking on another terribly made up vampire. And in that moment, you realize you should not be watching this show over and over and over again. But I continue to watch that show because there's something underneath that cheesy makeup that really means something.